and welcome to our young friends who are watching from home. So last week, we had a visit from a religious man, and we talked about John the Baptist, how John invited everyone to prepare their hearts for Jesus. Now, John was Jesus' cousin, and John was known for his wild hair and his clothing, and he kind of lived off the grid in the wilderness. But he traveled all around telling everyone about Jesus. Could I have the slide, please? There we go. There's John. So, some curious folks came to John and asked him, you know, John, you've been baptizing us and telling us to repent, to be honest with ourselves and turn our lives around, but how are we supposed to do that? Well, John's answer is really pretty simple. It's something you all learned when you were very, very young. And that is, John is asking us to share what we have with those who might not have enough. And John gives some really specific examples. He says if you have 2 coats, how many of you have 2 coats in your closet at home? Anybody? How about the rest of the congregation? How many of you have 2 coats in your closet at home? There we go. Lots of it. Only 2, right? Well, John tells us if you have 2 coats, keep one and give the other one to someone who needs a coat. Have you ever done that? Can you raise your hand if you've ever done that? Actually, you have. Many of you have. Because when I read this, I thought about Roosevelt Elementary School and how in October we collected about 40 coats for the children at Roosevelt Elementary School who don't have coats. Then John gives us another example. He talks about food. Have we ever shared our food with people in the community? What do you think? What do you think, Audrey? Have we?
Yeah.
Can you think of a time?
At school, we give food to people who don't.
At school, that's awesome. We also have done this at Nativity on a day called Harvest Home. Well, actually, all of you in Sunday school, remember when you go to Sunday school, you get one of those gems when you come, and we put that in our container, and then we redeem those gems, or we trade them in for food. And that Sunday, the Sunday school children collected over 2 huge baskets of food, which went to our Harvest Home collection, which went to people who are served by the Allentown Food Bank. Can you think of any other times where we might have shared what we have with people in our community? Mackenzie? In church, that's right. How many of you helped wrap a holiday hope chest? Yeah. Remember you brought in your donations? We have slides on that too. There we go. You brought in your donations. You had a shoebox. You wrapped your shoebox, filled it with their donations. And we took those boxes to the Volunteer Center of Lehigh Valley. And those boxes are going to go to children who might not get very much for Christmas. And then something you did last Saturday. How many of you were here for the Christmas celebration? Okay, how many of you have toys at home? Whoa! How many of you have more than 2 toys at home? How many of you have more than 10 toys at home? Whoa, right, so we have a lot of toys. But what you did last week, you have a lot too, Sumner? Well, what you did last week is you brought a toy that went to our Toys for Tots collection. And this past week, we had someone come in, pick up 4 overflowing boxes of toys and 4 bikes that went to children who might not get as many toys for Christmas as you do. So you see, that's what John wants us to do. The Gospel of Luke. In the Gospel of Luke, Jesus talks about sharing with the community out of love. That's really important to Jesus, and it's really important here at Nativity as well. Abby, you have something to add? Oh, Emma says no. Okay. All right. So what I want you to remember is that is exactly what John is telling us to do, to share what we have. So we're going to practice some sharing. I'm going to give you an opportunity to practice some sharing. I have a bag, and in it are 2 candy canes. Guess what? You keep one of them, and make sure you give the other one to somebody else. So let's practice that sharing, okay?